Hello and welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton, and joining me on the podcast today is my good friend Eric Colley. How are you, Eric?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for joining me.
Do I have to do a Charlie Neff impression?
Okay, yes, please.
Good morning, Charlie.
That's perfect. Except it'd be even more nasally today because she's apparently sick.
Yeah, feel better, Charlie.
If anyone's sick on Mondays, I'm always like, come on. Come on, we're not falling for that.
Yeah, right.
Today, we're going to discuss Diddy because this man, God, he is spiraling now, and I don't think there's anything that will be able to save him.
I don't think there's any coming back at this point.
I don't think so. We'll talk about Britney Spears. Kind of the same.
Yeah. Spiraling.
She's in trouble. Some of her closest allies really want her to get under a new conservatorship.
Which is wild because people were pushing for her to be free, and now it's like, unfree Britney.
Unfree Britney movement.
Unfree Britney.
We'll talk about Ben and J-Lo. Is there anything saving their relationship?
But are they together?
I don't. They had a united, show of force.
I mean, could be, or is it just for show?
Who knows?
I don't know.
And our almost news segment is going to be Harry Styles and his ex.
What?
Taylor Russell. They've split after 14 months together. So
Oh,
sad.
that's so sad.
So sad. But to begin with, let's talk about Diddy, because after that horrible, horrible video came out of him physically assaulting Cassie, he has now issued a full apology. Let's listen to some of his apology now.
Difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life, but sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
We don't believe you, Diddy. I don't believe him.
Yeah, it's interesting. Cassie's lawyers come out with a statement, and she said that his most recent statement is more about himself than the many people he has hurt. When Cassie and multiple other women came forward, he denied everything and suggested that his victims were looking for a payday.
Yeah, he was strong on that. He was
Yeah.
strong saying, this is all lies. This is all people trying to get money from, extort me.
Yeah. And that whole apology, he never acknowledges Cassie at all.
Why not? Why wouldn't he say, look, I'm sorry, specifically to Cassie?
Right, because she already sued him and he already paid her, so there's no even legal worry of that. And it can't be a criminal thing because I think statute of limitations is long since passed.
Yeah, they can't.
That video's
Yep.
8 years old.
Right.
It just seemed like damage control.
Yeah, totally.
Because he's already, taken a lot of black eyes in the public lately, like with the raids. And even though he hasn't been charged with anything yet, public sentiment has certainly really turned against him. And this was sort of like the icing on that cake. And this just seemed like, guys, I'm sorry, I messed up. Forgive me, move on.
Yeah, it was a very general apology, almost just a sorry I got caught. Where was the apology when the claims came out? I guess you deny until there's categorical proof that you did some of the stuff that was being alleged, and then you fall on your sword just for that thing in particular. But I'm still a good guy, and I've got help, and I've got therapy,
Yeah, he
and
said
that was
he
a dark time.
Went to rehab. We don't know when or for how long or for what specifically. And that, then he kind of basically said, I found God, more or less. And I don't think this is gonna do it for him with the public.
Well, interestingly as well, like the next day, or was it that day? I think it was this weekend. So he came out in public with his friends walking around, his home in Florida, Miami.
Yeah.
It's interesting that he did this the first time when the allegations came out. He was walking around town, meeting people, saying hi on Instagram and that sort of stuff. Then after this Cassie video comes out, he's out again in public trying to show like, I'm cool, man.
Yeah,
Like,
the whole what me worry kind of thing. And
Yeah.
I think maybe he thinks like this will blow over. And then he's like, see, I was cool the whole time. Like I was never worried about this.
yeah.
But at this point, it's just like, it seems tone deaf.
It does. And God knows what other video there is or might come out. I just think when people see stuff like that with their own eyes, it completely changes the conversation. Like no one's writing for Diddy now.
Oh yeah, I know. Like my wife, when she saw that video, she gasped.
Yeah.
When he stomped on her. Like it's shocking. It's once you see that, it's sort of thing like the Chris Brown Ariana thing. You heard about it, and then you saw that photo of her, and it just changed the whole narrative.
Totally. He allegedly tried to cover up that tape as well. He wanted to buy it from, the hotel staff, allegedly. That's what Cassie was inferring. It's
Well, it would make sense because where's that
Yeah.
video been for 8 years? Because, surveillance videos don't last very long. After what, 24 or 48 hours, those get
erased.
erased. So somebody saw that in 2016. Somebody has kept it for 8 years. Who's had it? Where did it come from?
Who knows?
Who knows?
And his twins went to prom over the weekend too. Can you imagine, like, on this like happy, I'm graduating high school, I'm going to prom. His two twins that he shared with Kim Porter, who has sadly passed away. Now, like, they don't have a mom, and their dad is just like,
Yeah, what was that prom like? Did any of the other kids even dare to say anything about it to them? I'd assume not.
I'd assume not, but
But still,
knows?
you that's hanging over you the whole prom.
right. God, terrible. Okay, on to our next story. Britney Spears, she is in increased danger. A new report suggests so. Some of her closest sources implored us to like post this story about how bad she's doing in hopes of, saving her.
Yeah, kinda like
Um,
an intervention by TMZ.
because the public pressure is what freed her from the conservatorship. And I guess the hope is public pressure will now get her the help she needs. Because numerous people in her life say they're scared for her, and her only path for survival is a new conservatorship, which is crazy.
She needs help.
She needs
I
help.
think there was maybe the idea when the conservatorship ended that Sam was at least kind of a stable influence in her life.
Mm.
And Sam didn't seem like a bad guy. He was not abusive to her, or anything like that. He's gone.
Hmm.
Her current boyfriend, Paul, we already know several times now they've had fights and there's been issues and police and medics called. And it's a bad scene.
It's bad.
It's very reminiscent of like 2007-ish Britney after she and Kevin split up and then she was dating a bunch of guys who were clearly not good for her.
Mm.
And that's how she wound up in the conservatorship. And so now people are saying maybe she's, having substance abuse issues, mental lapses. She's running out of money. She needs someone to step in and help her. But who would that be at this point?
I mean, no one.
Th-
A judge.
I guess so. It'd have to be like a court appointed, like
Right.
someone she has to check in with maybe. I mean, it's definitely not going to be her dad again.
Well, she's not taking her medication because she doesn't have to anymore, basically. No one's making her take
Yeah.
it. And a lot of people who need medication don't think they need it.
Kanye told us that once. He's like, I don't take those meds. I don't need them.
Right. But she's not taking it. She's drinking it on drugs. She's got these mood swings. No one can like talk sense into her because she doesn't know what reality is. She's totally unreasonable. This Paul Solis, her boyfriend, is in charge of everything around the
Yeah.
house. The money's running out. She's in a bad state.
It seems like there's got to be some sort of rock bottom soon because it's going in one direction.
Right.
And like I said before, it was like, where are her parents? Oh, there they are. Jamie stepped in. And of course, people wound up having issues with that. But it kept her alive and on track for a while there. So I don't know who that person is for Britney right now.
The judge who ended her conservatorship, will she have sort of blood on her hands? Like, because she freed her from the conservatorship, having not looked into her medical needs, her mental illness. The judge basically freed Britney because of the public pressure, the people outside the courthouse. She didn't want to stand in the way of something that the public swell of emotion for Britney. But now that all of this has happened, somewhat almost predictably, because she didn't take her mental illness into account.
Right. And they never ordered a court mandated test after the
Right.
conservatorship ended to determine her mental well-being. And so maybe the judge feels bad, or maybe we have Free Britney people in the office who have said they're like, whatever happens, it's her choice now. That's what they wanted all along. So maybe there's still no regret on their part.
But that's what 5150s are for.
Right. She's not of sound enough mind to make those choices for herself.
Yes, exactly.
It's just sad. It's sad watching it.
It really is, man. I hope something changes the narrative because right now, it's not looking good.
Yeah, and that she doesn't have to. Part of her complaint with Jamie, her dad, was that he made her work so much and do the Vegas show she didn't want to do. She doesn't have to do those now. If she can find some way to get money coming back in, but just somebody to keep her alive at this
Right.
point, honestly. So
Right.
I hope it works out for her.
Okay, on to our next story. J-Lo and Ben Affleck are sort of back together, or were they ever apart? Or I don't know.
Do we believe this was all real?
I Oh, now I'm thinking about it.
because she likes attention. So they've been split up. He's been living in their Brentwood home. Then over the weekend they were seen together to support J-Lo's kid who was at a school event. They were in Santa Monica. They went to Boa in Hollywood, which they know there are photographers there.
Right.
They could have gone to Boa in Santa Monica, which is a bit more private.
They went to one of the most public paparazzi restaurants. That is crazy to me because reports are that Ben doesn't like, stepping into the spotlight. He likes, his job and acting and that sort of stuff, but he doesn't like going to the Met Gala or going out to restaurants where there's paparazzi. That's not him. He's the Dunkin' Donuts guy.
Yeah, when he dated Ana de Armas, there were pictures of them sometimes, but it wasn't like they were out in public being seen. People just wanted to get photos of them, but he was not a very public guy.
But Jennifer Lopez is. She's the epitome of, show me out and about on a stroll or at a restaurant or, going to workout classes. She wants to be seen.
She loves to be seen. And again, when she and A-Rod were together, we saw her all the time. So
Right.
It seems like he doesn't like that. But, her recent album didn't do that well. The tour, they had to kind of rebrand it. Maybe she wanted different attention.
So they were not seen publicly together for 47 days. If what you're saying is correct, that this might have been cooked up as a storyline to sell some concert tickets, would you really not see your loved one, your husband or your wife for, 6 or 8, for a long time?
Well, they weren't seen publicly.
So you think they were just hanging out a lot behind closed doors? Let's not be...
Maybe. I can't see that he would go along with that.
Me neither, because the rings were sometimes off the finger. You could see there was no ring on the finger.
Yeah.
Then the next day, the ring would be back on the finger. That tells me something like fishy is up, that they're...
Could be. But no, have you ever forgotten your wedding band?
No, actually.
Ever, never?
It stays on.
Oh, every once in a while, I take it off when I shower, and then I forget to put it back on. And
Why do you take it off when you shower?
because I have 3 different ones, so I don't want soap getting in them or something.
Oh.
But-
No, I've never taken it off ever.
Oh, really?
Nope.
Oh, well, good for you.
Yep. If
But
you're
I'm not
listening,
taking it
Aaron.
off. I'm just saying. There's been once or twice, I'll get to work, and it's weird. You feel naked,
Yes.
But yeah, maybe he just forgot to put it on. Maybe he took it off or something.
You know what's interesting about them going to this school event last night for J-Lo's kid Emmy is Jen Garner was there too. Jen Garner was in the house for J-Lo's kid's school event.
Well, because Ben and Jen Garner's kid is really close with J-Lo's kid.
Right.
So Jen Garner's just a supportive mom. And
But J-Lo and Ben Affleck are already at the event. So why couldn't Finn, the kid,
with Ben and Jen
it's
Garner.
getting confusing.
Yeah.
I mean, why does Jen
They just all get along. They seem like they are fine with each other.
I guess. It's just
apparently.
weird. All right. That'll do it for that one.
J-Lo'd out.
Yeah. Jay Garner, J-Lo, just confusing. Harry Styles is a single man again. He and Taylor Russell have broken up, reportedly, after 14 months together. It's unclear right now what the catalyst for the breakup was, but an insider has said that Harry and Taylor have ended their relationship. They went through a rough patch after their trip to Japan and are taking time apart.
I think it's long distance. She's in London. He's in the States right now. I think it's just being apart that long can just wear you down. It's long distance is rough.
I think so too. And he's usually into, older women often.
Yeah. And she's a little bit younger.
He's been with Olivia Wilde famously.
Well, you know who has a shot right now?
If you were about to say this name written down on my pad that I think would be a really good partner for him, then we win $50,000 or something.
Gene Smart? You're like, no.
Were you about to say Gene Smart?
Yeah, Gene Smart.
Okay, give me your reason.
We just did the story. The show Hacks, that Harry's obsessed with it and sends her flowers all the time. And her character's name on Hacks is the name he uses when he checks into hotels.
Oh, that's right.
Remember, he's obsessed with Gene Smart.
How old is Gene Smart?
Around 70.
Okay.
She's a good-looking woman, though.
The name I have written down on my pad here is Kim Kardashian.
No, never.
If I was Kim Kardashian's publicist, seeing everything going on with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce and how good that is for their careers, I'd be picking up the phone right now, calling Harry's agent saying, he likes older women, huh? Well, I got an older woman right here.
I can't see...
You can't see that?
Harry dating Kim. I could see her wanting him, but I don't think he would want her.
Okay.
Yeah, but it'd break TMZ apart.
I mean,
we
say no one cares about what the Kardashians are up to these days. We'd care about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, and also because Harry is Taylor Swift's ex, and he's one of the few when she wrote a song about Harry, the song Style, it was a nice song.
Oh.
Or if Taylor Swift and Travis break up, if Taylor and Harry got back together.
I mean, that'd be great.
I mean, it'd be bad for Travis Kelce, but
yeah, exactly. Okay, we'll see if you win or I win. Gene Smart or Kim Kardashian.
I don't know which one's more unlikely.
True. If he gets a Gene Smart,
either one is equally. You know what? I could see anything happen.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining me, Eric.
Always a fun time.
And we'll see you guys here tomorrow. Goodbye.